Good morning everyone, my name is Jailyn E. Rivera, and for today I will report the topic number 16 entitled What is Marriage? What is marriage? Ano nga po ba ang kahulugan ng kasal? Ayon po sa dictionary na Merriam-Webster, ang kahulugan ng kasal ay ang state of being united as spouses in a consensual and contractual relationship recognized by law. Ibig sabihin po nito, mayroon pong kasunduan at mayroong kontrata na relasyon na kung saan kinikilala at legal sa batas. According naman po sa pangalawa, which is yung Bible, ang ibig sabihin po ng ISEPC ay involves spiritual, emotional, physical closeness. Ang ibig sabihin po nito, hindi lang po pagiging isa, hindi lang po pagsasama ng babae at ng lalaki ang pagkakaroon ng kasal. Ito rin po ay nag-i-include na pagiging isa nila sa spiritual, sa emotional, at pagiging isa ng katawan nila. Married couples are meant to be unified in every possible way. Ibig sabihin po niyan, sa kahit anong paraan po, kailangan na magkasama ang babae at ang lalaki. Ang kasal na sa seremonya ng kasal at pagkatapos ng seremonya ng kasal. According din po sa Old Testament na, therefore, shall a man leave his father and his mother and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. Ayan. Pagkatapos po natin malaman kung ano ang kahulugan ng kasal, dumako naman po tayo sa purpose ng marriage. Ang primary purpose po ng pagpapakasal ay ang love and companionship. Kadalasan ng mga rason ng mga magpapakasal ay para magkaroon ng deep emotional connection sa mga taong mahal nila or sa mismong partner nila. May mga tao na nagpapakasal, kadalasan sa kanila ay naghahanap ng kakampi, kasama sa buhay at kasama o gustong makasama sa mga may experience pa nila sa buhay. Meron din naman na naghahanap ng mga lifelong partners na kung saan mapagkakatiwalaan nila sa pagbuo ng kanilang future. Companionship is often a fundamental aspect in marriage, providing emotional support and a sense of belongingness. Ayan. Pagkatapos po natin ma-discuss yung primary purpose ng marriage, pupunta naman po tayo sa secondary purpose ng marriage, which is yung procreation. According po to sa Bible and according din po sa mga na-research ko, na the second primary purpose or the secondary purpose of marriage is procreation. Historically, it is one of the traditional purposes of marriage that has been provide a stable environment for raising a children. Many cultures view marriage as the institution within which children are born and raised. So, ito po ang kadalasan na nagiging rason ng pagpapakasal para magkaroon ng mas magandang pundasyon ng pamilya at mas maging maganda ang paglaki ng bata sa loob ng pamilya. After we discussed about the primary purpose and the secondary purpose of marriage, now we will go to the reasons why people marry. So, umpisan po muna natin sa mga positive reasons on why people marry. The decision to marry is deeply personal and influenced by a combination of emotional, practicality, and cultural factors, with successful marriages often characterized by mutual respect, effective communication, shared values, and a commitment to facing life's challenges together. Kung makikita niyo po, yung unang logo or yung unang image na nasa baba is love. May sing-sing po. People marry for love and companionship, seeking a deep emotional connection with a life partner. A life partner which or who they want to build their future with. Yung second naman is marriage provides stability and security, both emotionally and financially. As couples work together to build a supportive environment, the commitment inherent in marriage may offer individuals a stable foundation upon which to build their lives. So, ang pagiging stable at pagiging secured ay isa rin po sa mga nagiging rason kung bakit nagpapakasal yung mga tao. Pangatlo naman po is procreation. Kagaya rin po ng nabanggit natin kanina na ang procreation ay isa sa mga purpose at isa rin po sa mga dahilan kung bakit may mga taong nagpapakasal. Ang procreation is the desire to form a family and raise children in a committed setting is a common motivation for marriage. Kagaya nga rin po ng in-explain ko kanina na maganda pong environment and magandang stable na foundation ang marriage when it comes to procreation. When you want to procreate or when you want to be partner na may baby, you need marriage to build a stable and secured foundation. Para naman po sa pang-apat, which is cultural or religious beliefs, it can also play a significant role as some societies emphasize the sanctity of marriage. Kung mapapansin nyo po, mayroon po tayong iba-ibang paraan, iba-ibang kultura na kung saan iba't iba po yung paningin nila or yung pagtanaw nila sa marriage. May mga religious beliefs po na kung saan yung marriage ay isa sa mga sobrang halaga na binavalue nila na kailangan nila sa kanilang buhay. Ito po ang isa sa mga bagay na nagiging rason kung bakit nagpapakasal ang mga tao. Ayan. Tapos na po tayo sa positive reasons kung bakit nagpapakasal yung mga tao. Dumako naman po tayo sa the negative reasons why people marry. Negative reasons why people marry. Kung nakikita niyo po, meron po tayong apat, which is external pressures, financial gain, fear of loneliness, and trying to change a partner. These reasons are not considered good for marriage because they often lack a genuine foundation of mutual love, respect, and compatibility. Marrying under external pressures or for financial gain may result in a relationship that is transactional rather than based on emotional connection. Fear of loneliness or attempting to change partner can lead to unmet expectations and potential conflicts, as a healthy marriage typically thrives on shared values and a strong emotional bond. So, kung mapapansin nyo po, parang kadalasan po natin tong maririnig or makikita yung mga negative reasons sa mga palabas na kung saan may mga ina-arrange marriage, ganyan. Tapos may mga tao naman na kaya lang nila gustong pakasalan yung pinapakasalan nila kasi nga ayaw nilang mag-isa or gusto nila na mabago yung relationship na meron sila nung person na kapartner nila, which is wrong. Pero yung pagpapakasal naman po kasi is nakadepende sa kung ano yung reason and yung binavalue mo na values as a person. Kasi kung maaalala nyo po, sinabi ko kanina na the decision to marry is deeply personal and influenced by emotional, practical, and cultural factors. So, nasa sa inyo na po kung ano yung mga magiging rason nyo. Pero ito pong mga sinabi kong reasons kanina ay mga negative reasons why people marry. Pero, hindi po natin alam kasi baka mamaya kailangan nilang gawin yun na magpakasal para lang doon. Pero, mali po yung mga reasons na yun. So, dapat po, pag nagpakasal kayo, meron pong mutual love, which is yung love po, merong love mo sa partner mo, and meron ding love sa'yo yung partner mo. That's what you call mutual love. Tapos, meron din pong respect, and merong compatibility. Kasi, pag nandun po yung mutual love, respect, and yung compatibility sa relationship nyo ng partner mo, mas magtatagal po kayo and mas magiging maayos yung foundation or yung environment ng marriage na kinabibilangan mo or yung marriage na kung nasaan. Effects of marriage and the partner family. Ang effects of marriage and the partner family ay integration, tradition, support, dynamics, and cultural exchange. Integration kasi po, nagsasama-sama yung mga pamilya. Kunwari, ito lang yung po yung pamilya ko nung hindi pa ako kasal. Tapos ito yung pamilya nung asawa ko or nung papakasalan ko. Tapos once na naging kasal po, nabubuo po siya na pagsasama ng napagsasama. And nagkakaroon po ng mga traditions, may mga tradition po na natututunan mula sa kabilang pamilya na pinagsama, and mas malaki po yung support system na makukuha kung mas malaki yung pamilya. And kung may kasal po, mas malawak yung support and yung pagkakaiba-iba. So, mas nagkakaroon po tayo ng pakikipagkapwa, ng pakikisalamuha, at ng pag-adapt ng mga kultura at ng mga tradisyon na mula sa iba nating side ng pamilya or sa side ng papakasalan natin. Kasi nagkakaroon po ng integration and ng iba pang mga effects ng marriage na maganda po yung dulot para sa pag-grow natin as a person and as a person na merong family. Para naman po sa values that may be strained, lessened, or destroyed, yung mga values po na mga nababawasan or mga nasisira ay yung independence, personal space, financial independence, time management, and career focus. Opo, naiintindihan natin na yung marriage is generally positive and fulfilling na institution para sa nakararami. Pero kailangan din po natin intindihin na hindi po mawawala yung mga bagay o yung mga pagpapahalaga na nakasanayan natin dati. Kagaya na lang po ng independence. May mga tao po na lumaki na sila lang, ganyan. Pero once na nagkapamilya ka na po, you need to compromise. You need to coordinate decisions with your partner. After po natin ma-discuss yung mga values na may be destroyed or may be lessened when you go into a marriage, now we will discuss the suggestions or actions that you may make or you may do in times of those problems that may occur. First is open communication. Discuss your concerns openly and honestly with your partner. Effective communication is crucial for understanding each other's perspectives and finding common ground. So, pag nakapag-open na po kayo and pag napag-usapan nyo na, makakahanap po kayo ng mas magandang solution para maiwasan yung mga bagay or yung mga pagpapahalaga na nawawala or nababawasan when certain problems occur. So, second naman is set boundaries. Clearly define and communicate your personal boundaries. Establishing healthy boundaries can help maintain individuality and prevent values from being excessively compromised. Then, third is seek compromise. Marriage often involves compromise. Work together with your partner to find solutions that respect both of your values and his or her values and allow for a balanced relationship to happen. Next is reevaluate priorities. Reflect on your own individual and shared priorities. Ensure that the both partners have the opportunity to pursue personal goals and maintain a sense of fulfillment. Then next is counseling. If communication becomes challenging, consider seeking professional counseling. Marriage counselors can help facilitate constructive conversations and provide guidance on addressing conflicts. Next is regular check-ins. Schedule regular check-ins to discuss how each partner is feeling about the relationship and whether any adjustments are needed to better align with personal values. Next is respect differences. Understand that there are differences in your values and in his values, and respecting the difference wouldn't make your life hard. So, appreciate each other's perspectives even when they differ from your own. Individual growth. Encourage each other's personal growth and self-discovery. Supporting each other's aspirations can contribute to a more fulfilling relationship. Make quality time. Spend quality time together to strengthen your emotional connection. Building positive experiences as a couple can help mitigate the impact on individual values. So, it will help lessen or it will help to heal those values that are lessened or destroyed. Next is reassess expectations. Reflect on any unrealistic expectations you may have had about the marriage that that you choose, then adjusting expectations can reduce disappointment and allow for a more realistic and positive outlook. I just want you all to remember that addressing these issues requires mutual effort and the willingness to understand and support each other. If the challenges persist, seeking for professional guidance can be beneficial for navigating complex relationship dynamics. So, always remember the suggestions or the actions that you can do when you're inside a marriage, so that the marriage will be strong, will be healthy, and will be beneficial for all of you. Will be beneficial for you, for your partner, and for your future children.